I'd like to welcome back nutritionist and author Lola Berry. Today she's going to be chatting to us about eating for Christmas. How you going, Lola?
So good. I can't believe Christmas is already here. It's crazy, right?
I know. It's a bit scary, isn't it?
It's so scary, but exciting. And you know what? I don't know about you, but I always used to kind of like freak out about Christmas food-wise and be like, oh, there's going to be all this food. I'm not going to be able to eat a lot of it, or I'm going to eat all the wrong food and then feel really guilty or sick. So I think simplifying Christmas is actually, you know, and the whole festive season, whether you're into Christmas or not, the whole festive season in general, it is all about parties and canapes and treats and indulging and, you know, and all that kind of jazz. So there's a few simple tricks. First of all, before you go to an event or a party, my trick is I always just cook a big bit of salmon, epic salad before I go out, because I know I've had a really nutritious meal. And
it's a good idea.
Canapes that aren't gluten-free, or I know they've got lots of onion and can't have fructose, you know, that's what I do before I go to a
So
event,
you're full before you get there?
Absolutely, and you eat really good food. Then you know what? A lot of events are actually about seeing people too. They're not necessarily about the food. So it's kind of like being super prepared so you can actually go and enjoy your Christmas party and enjoy your mates.
Look, I like to eat anyway a bit, because sometimes when you get there and you're waiting for the food to come out and you're starving, you can't even concentrate on talking to anyone. I
know, and you know what? That's when you make worse food choices too. I was at an event last week, and it was the first one I've been to, and I hadn't eaten beforehand. And I had my salmon ready to go, but I just run around like crazy all afternoon. I didn't get a chance, and I was like, it's okay, I'm just going to pick for me, gluten-free is number one, dairy-free is number two, fructose-free is number three. Like, that's the order it goes in for an event, because normally using a very minimal amount. That said, if you've got either of those allergies in a really intense kind of, you know, reaction way, I wouldn't recommend tailoring it the way I do. It's just because I know my body so well. I can go, okay, gluten is like the devil for me, so that's the number one thing no matter what. So I was at an event last week, and I just said, oh, is that what's gluten-free? And there were a few like meat options, so I was really able to have, and a few beautiful raw fish options. So I was actually really, really lucky. And in the end, those things didn't have any dairy in them either, and from what I could see and taste, no onion or garlic. So I was kind of laughing in the end, but I lucked out. So it's not always the way. Often there's a lot of sweet things, or there's a lot of, you know, like a lot of like things that got pastry and whatnot in them too. So I think eating beforehand and being organised is really the key. And like, just own being a food nerd. I always tell my clients, I go, it's okay if you go out to dinner with your mates, have a Christmas catch-up, and you're that person that has all the food allergies and they have to request a special meal. I think own that. Don't try and hide the fact or scrape things to the side of your plate. Just whenever I go out, I always, you know, either call ahead or just say, hey, I've got these food allergies. Can you tailor my meal for it?
Calling ahead's a big one, because when people are prepared, they're happy to help you, and it's really hard if you just rock up on the night and want people to look after yourself. And I'm the same, because, you know, I've got all my food intolerances, and I used to be really embarrassed and try and not tell anyone, because I thought, oh my God, everyone thinks I'm a freak and they won't feed me. But, you know, eventually you start going, you know what, I feel so bad, you know, the next day, that you just have to start looking after yourself and, you know, owning up to what you can and can't eat.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, and I know now, like, how good you feel, and you're the best, really not worth jeopardising it. That said, Christmas Day, if you know, people are like, okay, I know for me, like, Christmas Day, I love my mum's Christmas pudding. She now makes it totally gluten-free. She calls it the paleo pud each year. But, I mean, it's not, I don't want people to listen and think, okay, I can never eat these kind of foods, you know, on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, I mean, in some traditions is quite, you know, a big celebration. But really, if you think about it, in Australia, it's seafood, it's salads, it's beautiful meats. All healthy foods.
That's right. And I know, because I've got allergies, like you've got, or, you know, intolerances, and there's so many, even packet mix cakes that are, you know, cater for all our kind of intolerances. And I volunteer to make dessert, so I know I've got something that's, you know, I can tolerate, and I feel like I've had something for Christmas.
Can I ask what you make? Do you do like a PAV or something?
Well, I have to admit, I do the packet one. There's a couple of, like, I get an amazing chocolate one just from Coles that's fructose friendly, gluten free, dairy free, everything, and I just add eggs and oil, and everyone likes it. All the normal.
Send me that one.
I'll have to look at what the brand is, but even the normal people eat it. I'm fighting over it with them. I make a chocolate mousse, and all I do is get coconut cream and mix it up with dark chocolate and put maple syrup with it, and I put it in the fridge, and that's it, and it's like a chocolate mousse.
Yeah, well, I do one similar. I do avocado, raw cacao, coconut oil, and a bit of maple syrup.
Yeah.
Same ball game. You put it in the fridge, and sometimes I'll make a pie crust and make a raw chocolate mousse pie. So the pie crust is just literally like almond meal, maple syrup, and desiccated coconut.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I make a bit of coconut oil, and that becomes a pie crust. Again, totally raw, vegan, paleo, fructose friendly. Like pretty good. And then I put the chocolate mousse in that. So I think it is about getting it. Obviously, that takes a little bit of time, a little bit of preparation. But you know what? It's about feeling good the next day. It's about and also there is nothing wrong to go to an event or go to a mate's place and have bought your own stuff and to bought something, like you said, and volunteer do desserts and whatnot, because it means you are going to be feeling better at the end of the day. So always put yourself first. And all this said, if you're sitting down on Christmas Day and, your grandma brings out her favourite pad or something like that, or a Christmas pudding, it's got a few things with brandy sauce, it's got a few things in that you normally wouldn't eat or indulge in. Don't feel guilty if you do fall off the wagon for one day. I want people to know, don't beat yourself up. Sure, you might feel bloated and tired and whatnot after, but you can mop up that damage with good probiotics, with a lot of fermented food the next day, and go for a run, sweat it out. I'm not saying go nuts, but if it does so happen, that's a few sneaky things slip in on Christmas Day, or, just remember it's one day. You can always, get back on the wagon. Yeah,
and you can have fun and still, because obviously summer's the time that people wear less clothes and they're more conscious sometimes about how they look, and you can still keep on top of things and be healthy, can't you?
Absolutely, and you know what, Briony, since I've moved to Sydney, that's even more full on here. Everyone rocks around in their bathers and gym gear, and gym gear up here isn't like gym gear in Melbourne. It's a crop top and shorts. That's it.
Wow. So there's so motivation for you.
Oh, you're constantly thinking, holy smokes, where is this gonna go?
Well, it sounds like a lot of pressure, Lola. Thank you so much for talking to us today. You always inspire us with healthy ideas to make living more accessible.
Just think easy and fun for Christmas. I even just make, choc balls, but I'll put little sometimes a few goji berries on top or some fresh strawberries on top to make them look like, and I call them Santa's buttons.
Oh, cute.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always something you can do that's easier than you think. And
that's
have
right.
fun this Christmas. Don't beat yourself up.
I do chocolate strawberries too. I just dip chocolates in the dark chocolate and the strawberry, put in the fridge. It's so easy.
Oh, perfect too, clean as.
So if people want to find out more information on you and all your recipes and books and everything you're doing, where can they go?
Literally, I'm across all social media, but online, lolaberry.com, and then there's Yummo Lola Berry, that's my Instagram and Twitter, and then there's a Facebook page as well. So honestly, I'm pretty easy to find.